Prime Minister's question.
Member for Point of Peer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Speaker, sorry. Prime Minister, given the recent statement of the Minister of Energy that 4 bidders for the Petrotrin refinery will be given until April to submit revised proposals for the refinery, will the Prime Minister provide this House with an update on the bids for the refinery?
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the further proposals of the 4 bidders were received and evaluated. After evaluation, TPHL has identified a preferred bidder and is currently pursuing discussions with this entity. The process is ongoing, and as the member has quite pointedly mentioned, only recently this was stated, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Prime Minister, do you have a timeline when this evaluation will be completed?
I'm sure the member knows that the answer to that is no. Because given the nature of what is happening, one cannot put a timeline on it at this stage. And it being only recent, it is reasonable to assume, as the work is ongoing, that a timeline as to when it will be concluded is not really useful at this stage, and I'm not going to guess on that.
Member for Point of Peer.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Prime Minister, given that these evaluations have been around for a while, I would have thought that, that some completion or finality would have come to the country in respect to the refinery.
Member.
The question is, Prime Minister, when would we find out who is the preferred bidder or purchaser of the refinery?
Isn't that the same question as the finality?
Yes, Madam.
Right. Member for Cuba South.
You don't have to ask a question if you don't have one.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Prime Minister, will the Prime Minister inform this House if the Trinity Mall, which the state has current control of, has been sold, and if so, to whom?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, the numerous statements made by the Minister of Finance from day 1, day 2, day 100 should indicate to every member of this Parliament that the Trinity Mall is not under the control of the government. And for the member to come here and file a question implying or stating that Trinity Mall is under the control of the government is mischief. Madam Speaker, Trinity Mall, which is under the control of the liquidator of CL Financial through Home Construction Limited, a subsidiary of CL Financial, and therefore not under the control of the state, has not even been advertised for sale as yet, far less sold. The member is engaging in pure mischief and a waste of Parliament time. Madam Speaker, with respect to the work of the liquidator obtained external stakeholders' approval for sale. The liquidator sought sanction from court with respect to the sale of Trinity Mall. The court granted the order. The liquidator held meetings with HCL regarding the divestment strategy. The agent has provided draft sales documentation to the liquidator for review and consideration. The sale process will be imminently launched, Madam Speaker, and that is, as I am told, the work of the liquidator.
Member for Naparima.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. What?
Continue.
Me? All right. Question 3 to the Prime Minister. Will the Prime Minister inform the House what tangible benefits, if any, would have accrued to the country from his last visit to the United States?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, On behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, in my capacity as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I traveled on official business to the United States, to Washington, during the month of April. Those visits, Madam Speaker, involved me meeting with the Honourable Christopher Dodd, a former U.S. Senator who has been recently appointed by the President of the United States as his special advisor to matters in this region of great interest to Trinidad and Tobago. Madam Speaker, I also had the opportunity to meet and hold discussions with the Chairman of the House Committee on Homeland Security, Congressman Benny G. Thompson. I met with the Honourable William Haggerty, the fourth ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee. I also met with the Honourable Chris Van Hollen, member of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations. Madam Speaker, I also met with the Honourable Robert Menendez, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, accompanied by his colleague, the Honourable Tim Kaine. Madam Speaker, at the request of the envoy, I met with Special Envoy for Climate Change, John Kerry. I met with the Chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Congressman Gregory Meeks, Ranking Member Mark Green. Madam Speaker, you may recall that in our desperate days of looking for vaccine, it was Chairman Meeks who intervened on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago along with his colleagues. I met with the Assistant Secretary for International Affairs of the United States Energy Department, Madam Speaker, and I met with Mr. James Clyburn and the Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the United States Congress, Jim Clyburn being the Parliament Chief Whip. And of course, Madam Speaker, you know these names.
Member for Naparima.
Mr. Prime Minister, the question asks for tangible benefits. Could you indicate how many jobs are accrued to Trinidad and Tobago from your various discussions?
Madam Speaker, if we have an opposition in Trinidad and Tobago who cannot extract from those meetings that there's benefit to be had and interest to be served on behalf of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you're on your own with that. We can't.
Could the Prime Minister indicate whether he held talks with Fortune 500 companies seeking to reduce supply chain vulnerabilities away from China and the Far East towards this region?
Madam Speaker, I am not responsible for the members' reading material. I have told the Parliament where I have worked, whose interests I have served, and I have nothing more to say to him in his explanation.
Is the Prime Minister therefore confessing that he met and didn't produce tangible benefits in terms of jobs and new industries to our country?
Madam Speaker, my colleagues can please themselves with that folly. But I'm sure, Madam Speaker, that they would have been better off spending time asking me how we managed to get back $921 million from OAS. But they're not interested in that. When you and your government traveled all over the world and couldn't report a single thing, today the people of Trinidad and Tobago have a government that is seeking its interests, and the halls where decisions are made by those who are making it, and you wouldn't understand that. You wouldn't understand that. I am meeting with US decision makers and you asking me how many jobs. Madam Speaker, this is not a kindergarten. This is the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. And if you were interested in jobs, you would never have allowed your friends to upgrade the treasury the way they have.
Prime Minister, it's time to spend. Honourable Chief. Order!
Madam Speaker, the chair girls in the front here.
Member for Oropuch East, the gender reference. I'm sure it wasn't intended. I'll ask you to withdraw that and you can ask your question.
Madam Speaker, again. Thank you, Madam Speaker, I withdraw that statement. Madam Speaker, the Minister of National Security has to control himself.
Please ask your question.
Yes, but I need silence. Prime Minister, are you aware that under the tenure of the People's Partnership, anytime the Prime Minister of this country traveled, either the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the Prime Minister herself made a statement to the Parliament on the outcome and expenses associated with all foreign travel?
Certainly not true.
Member for Naparima, we now on to question number 4.
Question number 4 to the Prime Minister. Will the Prime Minister inform the House whether the policy requiring the Housing Development Corporation's consent to any proposed transfer of HDC lands and properties by lessees / owners has been altered or adjusted by this administration?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, if the member could assist me by pointing to one sentence, one comma, one iota of any document that implies that this has been done, I will try to assist him. Until he can do so, Madam Speaker, the answer is no. Pure mischief. Pure mischief.
Is the Prime Minister therefore stated that persons in his cabinet whose family acquired HDC lands did so with HDC's approval?
Madam Speaker, I see the fishing line. I know the fisherman. I do not know what he's talking about. He's on a fishing expedition, Madam Speaker, and that question, the answer is no. I know of no person. And Madam Speaker, implying that we have changed the policy for any such thing to happen, once again, Madam Speaker, it is not true. It is mischief. We have changed no policy.
Member for Naparima.
Minister, therefore exonerating, when you are exonerating your fellow cabinet minister who acquired property under the policy which you have said has not changed.
Member, that is out of order in accordance with the standing orders. Okay, I will not allow that question. You have another question? Member for Cuba South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Will the Prime Minister inform this House whether he has given instructions to the Minister of Agriculture and the Office of the Commissioner of State Lands to launch an investigation into the contents of a special branch report reference 105/4/2T51 of 2019 concerning a Minister of Government who is allegedly wrongfully occupying 3 parcels of state lands belonging to the Housing Development Corporation?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, my colleagues engaging in what is called doubling down, to come here and ask me about allegedly, after the person against whom you made the accusation have provided a strong denial and document to prove that you are wrong, again, is pure mischief. And secondly, Madam Speaker, that document quoted there, 105/4/2T, is a police document. And if a law has been broken and any citizen is to be held liable for breach of that law, it means that it is already in the hands of the police. And finally, Madam Speaker, since when are my colleagues happy to have me give instructions to the police? You spend the time running up and down the country saying the Prime Minister must not give instructions to the police. How come you're interested in me giving instructions to the police now? And Madam Speaker, as Prime Minister, I do not give instructions to the police to persecute or prosecute any citizen. If you think that prosecution is warranted here, it is in the police hand. Let's see what the police will do.
Member for Vancouver South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Could the Prime Minister tell this House and the country, have you given instructions to the Commissioner of State Lands through the Minister of Agriculture, Land and Marine Resources to launch an investigation into this special branch report, not the police?
Madam Speaker.
Prime Minister, that is the exact question that was asked and answered. That was the exact question that was asked and answered. You have another question?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Could the Prime Minister, as the head of the National Security Council, confirm that the special branch report dated the 5th of July 2019 is an authentic document?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I am in no position and I will not engage in this kind of behavior with the opposition. I am not telling you what is or what is not a special branch document. You have a document which you have put to the public, making allegations against people. You're on your own with that. And Madam Speaker, as far as I'm aware, I think the Commissioner of Police spoke to this already in the public domain. And I am in no position to counteract or to countermand what the Commissioner of Police might have said about a police document. Once again, Madam Speaker, pure mischief. And finally, Madam Speaker, the pieces of land that my colleagues are seeking to make a story of are in fact HDC properties. And therefore the Commissioner of State Land has no involvement there, contrary to the mischief being put here by the member. HDC plots sold to public are not under the control of the Commissioner of State Land. The Commissioner of State Land is in control of lands which belong to the state. And once HDC sell a house to somebody and that person owns that house, it no longer belongs to the state. What is wrong with you all? What have you all been eating and drinking that had you so antsy? What is wrong with you all?
Member for Oropuchis, just please compose yourself. You'll have an opportunity to ask a question if you wish. Member for Vancouver South.
Madam Speaker, I want to tell the Prime Minister here this evening.
You can't tell me nothing. You have to tell me nothing. Well, do your job.
Question time. You're going to ask a question, please. Okay.
Nothing is wrong with the opposition. The opposition will ask the question.
Member for Vancouver South.
And
Member for Vancouver South. It is to ask a question. If not, we go on to question 6.
I am in the process.
No, you're going to ask a question. Okay?
I will ask the question.
Yes.
Prime Minister.
Yes, sir.
As the head of the National Security Council, can you tell this House and country if you no longer have confidence in reports produced by the Special Branch Unit of the Police Service of Trinidad and Tobago?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, when that situation arises, you'll be the first to know.
Member for Napurima.
No, I was asking the same question.
Fools seldom differ.
Member for Vancouver South, do you have another question? Okay, so Member for Vancouver South, question 6.
Madam Speaker, given the work currently being done by the Cabinet Subcommittee on Majority-Owned TSTT, will the Prime Minister inform this House if TSTT has retrenched any of its managerial and security staff?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, the conflating of these two issues, not helpful, because we made it very clear as to what the role of that committee was to do. And may I assist, Madam Speaker, by telling my colleague, the committee mentioned was simply to look at TSTT's position as a competitor among competitors in the telecommunication business, especially in the context of TST having as a minority shareholder a 49% stake in the company by one of the marketplace owners. So, Madam Speaker, that has nothing to do with retrenchment of staff. And if, in fact, the company is restructuring itself, that is not the remit of the committee, Madam Speaker.
Member for Cooper South.
Madam Speaker, could the Prime Minister inform this House when the work of this Cabinet subcommittee as it relates to TSTT will be completed?
Madam Speaker, the committee has been given appropriate time, and we await the response from the committee, which I guarantee you, Madam Speaker, will eventually come to the Cabinet, and the Cabinet will adjudicate upon it. It is for the Cabinet's purpose in terms of determining TSTT's role in the competitive business of telecommunications.
Cooper South.
Prime Minister, as the head of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, can you confirm or deny if TSTT has indeed issued letters of termination to managerial and security staff?
I do not have that information, Madam Speaker, and therefore I'm not in a position to advise my colleague on it. I don't have that information.
Member for Cooper South.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In light of the recent declaration by the Acting Commissioner of Police that he has no control over the use of grabbers and jammers technology, which was designed to fight the use of cell phones within the prison, will the Prime Minister inform this House if this technology is currently functioning?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, clearly that's a matter of national security. And I noticed a trend developing in this chamber. The last time I was here, Madam Speaker, one member actually asked the National Security Minister to tell her where cameras were not working. And this one is asking to tell whether this system is working in the prison. Madam Speaker, that answering that as asked, Madam Speaker, is simply to assist criminals.
Member for Naparima.
In response to the Prime Minister's question, is the Prime Minister comfortable with the fact that the Acting Commissioner of Prisons has no input, control, access to the grabbers and jabbers technology in his area of remit?
Madam Speaker, once again, it is made out as though it is something wrong here. Madam Speaker, what has happened when that was put in the prison? In order to protect the system and to allow it to function in the way it is meant to function, that system of monitoring the prison's use of telephony and telecommunications in the prison is put under the control of another arm of the state. And, Madam Speaker, there's no discomfort about that.
Member for Cooper South.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Prime Minister, given the spate of murders in Trinidad and Tobago and murders we have been told that are based on calls made from the prison service within the walls of the prisons of Trinidad and Tobago, could you assure law-abiding citizens of Trinidad and Tobago indeed the grabbers and jammers technology is functioning?
Or not? Member, I believe that is the question that was asked. This, in substance, that's the same question. Member for Naparima.
Minister comfortable with putting all this power in the hands of what we consider politically controlled SSA, and therefore the arm's length relationship with the Acting Commissioner of Prisons and the Commissioner of Police in respect of intercepting technology is not there.
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, so you know it is in the hands of the SSA. And you have determined that the SSA is politically motivated. Your mischief knows no bounds.
Member for Naparima. Member for Naparima.
Is the Prime Minister aware?
Members, let's just get on with the business.
Is the Prime Minister aware that the director of the SSA is not a public servant appointed by an independent commission, but by the Cabinet, and it is a contract opinion or a contract position, a servant at the will of the Minister of National Security?
Prime Minister.
So what? So what?
Just now.
The SSA officer appointed by this government has been appointed in the same manner that you appointed officers. Identical manner. Are you saying that when the UNC was in government that those officers were part of the political arm of the UNC?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Thanks for telling us.
Okay, so members, the 4 questions as supplemental have been spent.
Questions on notice.